Hello everyone. In today's class, I'll be discussing one of the most important chapter which is frequently asked in all undergraduate course of Botany honors course, that is Apogamy and Apospory in Pteridophytes. Before going to the topic, let me just recall what are the things we had studied in last class. In previous class we had studied the general characteristics of Pteridophytes, where we had seen that pteridophytes are the plants. These are the cryptogams which does not produce any seeds or flowers, but they disperse spores. The spores may be homospore and heterospore, and where heterospory is a very important characteristics of pteridophytes. These are considered as the first vascular land plants which possessed xylem and phloem. Then we studied that pteridophytes are classified into four major groups such as Xylopsida, Lycopsida, Siphonspida and Pteropsida. The individual members of the group will be discussed in due course of time. In today's class, we will be dealing one of the most important features of these plants, where the sporophyte is the main body and has been differentiated into root, stem and leaves. In pteridophytes or in Archegoniates, generally alteration of generation takes place. Alteration of generation means there are two different phases such as sporophyte and gametophyte, which alters or which comes one after another and they complete the life cycle of the plant. In some groups of Archegoniates such as Bryophyta, the gametophyte is the dominant phase. Whereas in pteridophytes, the sporophyte is the dominant phase, or it is the maximum time limit phase, which has ephemeral gametophyte phase. So let us just know what are the different phases or what are the characteristics of sporophyte and gametophyte. Sporophyte means it is diploid in nature, which upon meiosis give rise to four spores which are haploid in nature. The gametophyte is always haploid in nature, which forms different gametes. The gametes in Archegoniates are generally called in different terms such as Antheridia and Archegonia. The male sex organ is called Antheridia and the female sex organ is called Archegonia. The fusion happens and the zygote is formed, and then the next phase, like this they complete the life cycle. So apogamy is the phenomena of the development of an unusual haploid sporophyte from the gametophyte without the fusion of gametes. It's just an unusual process. Generally it does not happen, and it is rarely happens in all the plants, but it is a most common phenomena which takes place in pteridophytes. Apogamy, apo means without, gamy means fusion. So without the fusion of the gametes, the sporophyte is formed, that is diploid in nature, from the haploid gametophyte. It was discovered first time by Farlow in terrace plant. जदि आमे देखिबा एपोगामीटा कोन ना एपोगामीटा होउची ना गोटे अनयूजुअल फेनोमेनन जोटा कि जनरली हुएनी कारण विदाउट फ्यूजन रे आमे कहि परिबानी कोनोसी प्लांट्स बा कोनोसी जाइगोट फॉर्म हेबारे किंतु एई गुरे प्लांट्स जेंति कि टेरिडोफाइट्स कहली जोथि कि हम देखि परिबा जे स्पोरोफाइटा जोटा कि डिप्लॉयड मीन्स टू सेट्स ऑफ क्रोमोसोम अछि जोटा कि one set of chromosome that is haploid gametophyte रो फॉर्मेशन हेई थाए तार केमिति फॉर्मेशन हेई थाए ना एपोगामी is the phenomenon of formation of sporophyte directly from the vegetative cells of the gametophyte without the act of syngamy and gametic fusion. Syngamy माने कोन हमें जानिथिले जे syngamy टा होउची now when one male gametes fuses with one egg cell present near the synergids in angiosperm plants during double fertilization, it forms the zygote which is diploid in nature and then zygote is converted to embryo, embryo is converted to the plant. But here that syngamy process does not take place. जेतले syngamy process टा होउनी ताहाले हम कहि परिबा जे जो वेजिटेटिव सेल्स such as जेमति कि angiosperm plant जति कहिबा ताहाले कोन होछि either synergid cells antipodal cells polar nuclei एई जो सेल सब थाए सेमान जते बेले जाइना डायरेक्ट गैमेटोफाइट फॉर्मेशन करि थांती बा स्पोरोफाइट फॉर्मेशन करि थांती से माने हम कहिबा जे एपोगामी Apogamy दी प्रकार हुए Apogamy can takes place in two ways. Either naturally it takes place, such as it takes place in Dryopteris, Adiantum, Osmunda, and Pteris plants, which are common in these plants. Dryopteris plants I have shown already in the diagram. Adiantum also I have shown in the diagram, where you can see that these are the plants where natural apogamy takes place. But this apogamy phenomenon can also be induced experimentally, or we can conduct that in laboratory in the plants such as Lycopodium, Equisetum, that last two groups, Siphonosphaera and Lycopsida. If we saw that the plants are produced without the fusion of the gametes or syngamy, then what is the cause of apogamy? Let us discuss. The cause of apogamy includes aging of the prothallus, failure of sex organ formation and normal fertilization, and sometimes the prothallus if grows under bright light or high temperature. These are the major cause. ना हमें देखिबा जदि एपोगामी टा होची गोटे अनयूजुअल फेनोमेनन ताहले हमें कहिबा कोन ना प्रोथैलस जोटा हमें कहि पारे गैमेटोफाइट फेज रो जो प्रोथैलस टा हमें कहिबा जो प्लांट बॉडी टा कहिबा सेटा कोन होउची ना ओवर एज हे जाई पारे बा बिलो एज हे थाई तापर हमें कहि परिबा जे जो सेक्स ऑर्गन जोटा हमें कहि पारे आज गैमेटोफाइट जति बेले एंथ्रेडिया और आर्किगोनिया फॉर्मेशन करला डबल फर्टिलाइज माने नॉर्मल फर्टिलाइजेशन हे पाइला नाही जहा फल कि फेल्युअर हला सेक्स ऑर्गन हो सिथरे बा हमें कहि पारिया किछि लैबोरेटरी हम जतले एक्सपेरिमेंट करू थाए बा नेचुरल कंडीशन रे जो टेम्परेचर बा लाइट रो जो बैलेंस रहया कथा सेटा रहउनी जहा फल कि हमर एपोगामी होउची जोटा कि अनयूजुअल फेनोमेनन कहिबा एवं दैट टेक्स प्लेस फ्रॉम एनी वेजिटेटिव पार्ट ऑफ द प्लांट और वेजिटेटिव पार्ट ऑफ द गैमेटोफाइट गिव राइज टू द स्पोरोफाइट सेटा होची हमर एपोगामी ताहले what are the consequences of apogamy? Now apogamy leads to ploidy, leads to increase in spore numbers for sporangia, spore size and the development of gametangia and formation and morphology of young sporophytes. हमरो ए जो apogamy जो प्रिंसिपल टा होची सेतरे कोन होची ना प्लॉइडी लेवल इंक्रीज हे होची प्लॉइडी कहले कोन ना हमें कहबा हैप्लॉइड n डिप्लॉइड 2n टेट्राप्लॉइड 4n ये कोन होची ना हमर जो प्लॉइड लेवल टा हमर इनक्रीज हे जाउची बा जो पर्टिकुलर जेंति कि हम कहितली आगुरु जे हमर स्पोरोफाइट जते मियोसिस करे से चारटा हैप्लॉइड स्पोर फॉर्मेशन करे जोटा कि अगेन हाप्लॉइड होता है किंतु एटी प्लॉइडी लेवलटा आमर इनक्रीज होता है जोटा कि मुझे किसी समय पर उदाहरण देवी तेणु आम कहीपर जेनराली एपोगैमस रिप्रोडक्शन इज स्ट्रांगली एसोसिएटेड विथ प्लॉइडी लेवल्स and maximum around 75 to 80% plants or forms are ploidy. So we saw that apogamy leads to ploidy levels in plants. For example, the leptosporangiates. There are two groups of pteridophytes. One is leptosporangiates, which is generated from the one single initial superficial, which develops from one single initial superficial. Suppose it has 16 spore mother cells, and we know one mother cell, one megaspore or microspore, whatever it may be, one megaspore mother cell upon meiosis give rise to 4 spores. So if the plant has 16 spore mother cells, then it produces 64 spores which are haploid in nature from one single or from the sporangiums. This is the general conditions which happens in pteridophytes. But in case of apogamy or apogamous plants, what happens? Now they have 8 mother cells. So instead of 16 mother cells, as for one mother cell can produce 4 cells, so 8 spore mother cells produce 32 spores during normal meiosis. तो आम पे देखा लेप्टोस्पोरांजिएट फॉर्म्स रे कौन हुए एंड मुझे तुमको कहते किसी समय पूर्व ना दुटा फॉर्म अच्छी टेरिडोफाइट्स गोटे अच्छे लेप्टोस्पोरांजिएट्स आ गोटे यू स्पोरांजिएट्स. लेप्टोस्पोरांजिएट्स कौन करे जनरल कंडीशन रे जदि तार 16टा मदर सेल थाए ताहले गोटे मदर सेल 4टा हाप्लॉइड स्पोर तैयारी हुए से हुए आमर 64 बा 64टा स्पोर्स प्रोड्यूस होता है. किंतु आम जो एपोगामी प्लांट कहूँ से कौन हुए ना जदि तार 8टा मदर सेल थाए ताहले 4टा जदि वन मदर सेल प्रोड्यूस करे ताले केतेटा हुए ना 32टा आमर प्रोड्यूस हुए जेटा कि आम कहि परिबा ना अगेन आइदर इट इज ए unusual case which happens during the apogamy condition. Then what are the different evidences has been proposed that because perhaps the apogamy occurs because there is no Archegonia or it is a single parent, that is Antheridia. Antheridia is only involved and Archegonia does not present, which leads to apogamy conditions. But majority plants such as Diplasium, Megaphyllum, they have what happens now, they have both, or the gametophytes produce both Antheridia and Archegonia. So this is the general overview or the general conditions seen in apogamies or apogamous plants. So let us discuss Apospory. Apospory is the development of unusual diploid gametophyte from the vegetative parts of sporophyte and not from the spores. In this condition what happens? Na gametophyte is produced from the sporophyte without any spores. General condition what happens? Na the sporophyte give rise to spores. But here what happens? Na the sporophyte does not give spores, but it directly forms gametophyte which is diploid in nature. Apospory तले कौन है ना एटा गोटे कंडीशन जो कि आमर स्पोरोफाइट रु गैमेटोफाइट फॉर्मेशन हम. किंतु आम जानते स्पोरोफाइट कौन करे फास्ट स्पोर फॉर्मेशन करे स्पोर तापर कौन करे ना गैमेटोफाइट फॉर्मेशन. किंतु एई फेनोमेनाटा कौन हुए ना पुणी स्पोर फॉर्मेशन हेनी एवं डायरेक्ट स्पोरोफाइट रु आमर गैमेटोफाइटा प्रोड्यूस होता है जोटा कि डिप्लॉइड इन नेचर. दिस आर अनयूजुअल कंडीशंस. ताले कोठु हुए ना जनरल द वेजिटेटिव और नॉन रिप्रोडक्टिव पार्ट ऑफ द स्पोरोफाइट गिव राइज टू गैमेटोफाइट. This phenomenon was discovered by Brewery in Ethereum felix, which is a pteridophyte. Then various causes have been proposed for the origin or for to happen Apospory. There are several theories or several factors have been contributed, such as deficiency of mineral nutrition, such as the development of the leaves under dim light, like Apogamy, where we had studied that light and temperature also influences the formation of Apogamy. Similarly, in case of Apospory also it is affected by the presence of dim light or less amount of mineral nutrition. The Apospory are generally can be again we can tell that natural Apospory happens in Pteris, Osmunda and Trichomanes, and sometimes also we can induce Apospory or we can generate Apospory inside laboratory. How? Now by taking a plant like Pteridium. Pteridophytes can be taken inside laboratory and we can generate the Apospory condition. Similarly, we had studied Apogamy. Similarly, Apospory also leads to Ploidy or polyploidy nature in plants. Already I have explained what is polyploidy. Generally, all the plants can either be haploid or diploid, but in these cases, the polyploid conditions happens where we had seen that gametophyte is, which should be haploid, but it is diploid in nature. In Apospory, again one more point, the gametophyte which should be produced from the prothallus or protonema stage, here a heart-shaped structure is form any vegetative part of the sporophyte. So this is the condition which generally takes place in Apospory. Apospory ताले कौन हुए पिले माने आमे जदि देखिबा ना to summarize Apospory टा होची Apospory रे कौन होची ना without spore formation, sporophyte टा हमरो gametophyte formation करे, whereas Apogamy टा हमरो without fertilization रे हमरो gametophyte give rise to sporophyte. So in this picture you can see that the sporophyte produce a structure called sporangium, which upon burst give rise to spores, which again germinates to form a gametophyte, where Anthraria and Archegonia are released, fertilized, and then they produce the zygote, and again a new sporophyte is produced. So in this way, the sporophyte and gametophyte are alternates with each other and completes the life cycle of a foreign plant. पिले आज जो टॉपिक टान पढ़िले जनरली एटा गोटे अनयूजुअल फेनोमेनन हम देखिले जोथरे कि हमर नाइदर फ्यूजन हुए, नाइदर फर्टिलाइजेशन हुए, नाइदर सिंगम हुए, जेंति कि हम उदाहरण दे देखि परिबा even in the case of Puranic stories we have seen Namar Parvati wanted to give birth, wanted to have Ganesha, so हम जानते हैं पार्वती कौन कले ना निज देहरु किसी मड़ी बाहर करिना गोटे पार्वती तैयारी कले जोटा कि एक्चुअली इनफर्टाइल. So Apospory or Apospory and Apogamy products are always infertile, जोटा कि मैक्सिमम समय रही परिबा नै. हम जानते हैं गणेश मध्य जो फर्स्ट टाइम जत पार्वती गणेश तैयारी करथिले गणेश मध्य बहुत दिन रहिला नै एवं गणेश को शिव मारी दैथिले. आ सेकंड एपिसोड हम जानथिले जे मदर कुंती मां कुंती कौन करथिले ना suddenly pray कले सूर्य को एवं just wanted that सूर्य हमर गोटे माने ता गोटे पिलाटे हो एवं हम जानते जे कर्ण प्रोड्यूस हेतले जोटा कि एक्चुअली फर्टिलाइजेशन हेइनी. ये सब आमे देखि परिबा जे इन प्रीवियस केसेस इट हैपेंस. से प्रकार हमर प्लांट्स मध्ये एपोस्पोरी और एपोगामी देखा जाय जोटा कि जनरली ए कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स ऑफ टेरिडोफाइट्स. थैंक यू.